today. From Ford Field in Detroit, this is Madden NFL 21 on EA Sports. We'll see Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Two men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from Ford Field. Now KJ Osborne. And able to get this out to the 25. The Vikings ready to go to work, led out by their quarterback in his third year wearing purple, 9th year overall in the NFL, a Pro Bowler in Kirk Cousins.
The debate about Kirk Cousins continues to rage both among Vikings fans and fans around the league. But when you look at his numbers, you think this is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Last year broke a string of 4 straight 4,000-yard passing years with the emergence of Dalvin Cook in the backfield. So while those numbers dropped, he was still solid throwing the football. 26 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. Now he's just got to develop an extra target on the perimeter in order to get his numbers back to the previous levels.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They run again on first down, Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Play fake. Cousins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. We see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
When I think of Matthew Stafford in Detroit, I think of numbers, and I mean passing numbers. 40,000 yards passed in his career last year before a back injury landed him on the IR after just 8 games. And to show his value to the team, the Lions lost all 8 games started by either Jeff Driscoll or David Blau. They need a healthy Matthew Stafford in order to compete in the NFC North.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On 4th down, the Lions trot out their new punter for 2020, Jack Fox. K.J. Osborne deep for Minnesota. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 38. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And that's taken in. It's B.C. Johnson. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Cousins now. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Justin Jefferson, the rookie, his intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To the air again, it's Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. B.C. Johnson there to make the grab. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking deep now for Amendola. And that will be incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Detroit. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It'll be a net of 39. 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. First down, here's Cousins. Quickly to Thielen here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely, great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Cousins to throw it. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Bailey's kick is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. I'm coming. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Stafford. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Stafford throws complete to Galladay, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another 1st.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stafford, and the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Operating from the gun. Stafford, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He was trying to find Chad Beebe that time. That'll bring up second down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a strong first half for the veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
From the 27th, Stafford, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Looking sideline, incomplete. Well, right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion for us there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. There for the sack, Griffin. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return, here's Agnew. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Off the play fake, he'll set up to throw it. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now to Galladay on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Second and 2. From the gun, Stafford going underneath. He's got Hawkinson, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. We'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Swift. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To throw again. Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. 13-year man puts it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Cousins gives way to Cook. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That's the way to get it going, boy.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cook. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
From the 39, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Now it's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Stafford now to throw. Right side, it's the tight end, Hawkinson. And coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes a Vikings defense. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? On first down, Stafford here. And this will be incomplete. DeAndre Swift, the intended receiver that time. And now it's second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork that led to the incompletion.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 11 yards there, first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Stafford with a play fake to Swift, and he'll set to throw.
And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with the clock down now to 13 seconds. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with the clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.